Welcome to Ministry of Offence, a show that does for jokes what Liz Truss does for taxes. We're trying to cut back on the worst ones, but the ones that remain, still painful. I'm your host, Stephen Allen, and I'm going to start with a quick recap of the news you might have missed. It's been confirmed that the UK will host the Eurovision Song Contest next year in place of war-torn Ukraine. I don't know the lengths some countries will go to get out of it. We normally just submit a crap song. Cities are jostling to put it on, among them Glasgow, though there are worries that for any Ukrainians attending, it could be a traumatic reminder of the destruction of Mariupol. The school holidays have started and it's been chaos at the port of Dover. Hundreds of people had to wait half a day outside the ferry terminal. The only way to get abroad these days is to get a lift back with the people traffickers. MP John Redwood suggests we should boycott France. I'm already doing it. I no longer eat French fries or kiss with my mouth open, and I'll only watch Jennifer Saunders on her own. The Tory leadership race rumbles on. During the TV debate, Liz Truss showed her awesome powers by actually boring the host unconscious. It was no laughing matter for host Kate McCann. This is the worst thing that's happened to her since that holiday in Portugal. Kate collapsed as the candidates defended their record on the NHS under the government. The debate was then stopped as no one had any idea how soon the paramedics would turn up. It was yet another week where Keir Starmer demonstrated he has about as much authority as a PCSO with a lisp. He removed Sam Tarry from Labour's front bench after he joined a picket line. He was fired for expressing an opinion, something Keir Starmer is fiercely against. It's Euro 2022 final on Sunday with England v Germany. Good luck, Lionesses. Let's hope that football is coming home. At least this time, if it gets lost, it would be willing to ask for directions. To be honest, it's nice to hear of women connected to top-level football that aren't trying to escape from a hotel room. And that's your weekly roundup. Time to get on with the show. Of course, no panel show is complete without panellists, so first let's meet the team. Fighting for the left is a team captain who's about to leave us to go up to the Edinburgh Fringe for a month, where she'll spend thousands of pounds to perform a show that, if she's lucky, might get a notice, and eventually lead to the dream of being offered the role of team captain on a TV panel show. It's Diane Spencer. Her teammate is a man who came over to the UK from Romania to do stand-up comedy in 2015. A few months later, Britain voted to leave the EU, which I'm sure is just a coincidence. It's Radu Isaac. And fighting for the right is a team captain, is a man whose on-screen career is guaranteed now that they're showing court cases on TV. It's Leo Kurtz. And Leo is joined by a comedian who's so middle class he can afford to have a crack at a career in stand-up comedy. It's Jonathan Cogan. So here at the Ministry of Offence, we ask our teams to tell us which minister they would like to be. So Leo, I'm going to start with you and your team. What are you the minister of?
I'm going to be the Minister of Insects this week. So basically the World Health Organization is saying we're all going to have to get all of our protein in food from insects in a few years. So we're going to have to update that saying, the average person eats 7 spiders in their sleep. It's now going to be the average person eats 18,000 spiders in their McDonald's burgers every year. But yeah, man, somebody was telling me, so just as the World Health Organization says you've got to start eating insects, somebody told me insects are dying out because of climate change or weed killer. I was like, oh no, not the insects. Anything but the insects. You know what I mean? I'm going to join Greenpeace for this one. You know what I mean? There's not going to be flies left to land in wet dog shit and then land in my chips. I'm going to have to take my chips over the wet dog shit myself and dip them in one by one. Don't want to live in that Mad Max dystopian future. No moths left to come in at my room at night and clatter about. The amount of noise a moth makes. You wake up, you're like, is there a mouse in here? And then you turn on the light, it's just a moth, the shittest of all the animals. Can't even hold itself in one piece. You don't even need to whack it with a rolled up telegraph. Just waft near it, all of a sudden it's on the carpet going in circles oh, I can't take it. I'm turning into eyeshadow. You know what I mean?
And Jonathan?
Well, I'm going to be the Minister of Health because I've got really into health eating. In fact, I've just downloaded an app which tracks every single calorie that my girlfriend eats. It's amazing. Realistically, I'm going to be the Minister for Body Shaming. It's kind of thing.
And over to this side, Dan, what are you going to be the Minister of?
I'm going to be the Minister of Opaque Policies because what we've noticed on the left is that we don't like what the Tory scum are doing, but we're not sure what we're doing either. It was a massive shock to us when Sam Tarry actually went on a picket line and spouted policies. No, Sam. If you're going to be bold, inspirational and committed, we don't want you in the Labour Party. Because if there's one thing we know, it's that we don't really know anything. At least we're not sure. Thank you, I think.
And Radu?
Yeah, I want to be the Minister of Education. Yeah, why not? I feel like... I feel like their power is underrated. Everybody's talking about like grooming children and stuff, like what they're teaching. You get like all the power. You get to decide what sexualities you talk about, what sexualities you ignore. You get to decide like what genocides existed, what genocides never existed.
And that's what you'd like to have the control over, is it?
Absolutely, yeah. Take some genocides off the map, insert others, maybe mess with the letters a bit. Why are there like 2 F's in offense? Just 1 F.
Well, now that's the introductions out of the way. Let's get the show started with our first round, which is Viral Load. Each week, the teams pick a viral video, a meme or a tweet that has caught their eye. It could be political, or it could just be something that they find weird or amusing. I will decide which is the most point-worthy. OK, starting with your team, Leo, what have you got for us this week?
I've got a video of Kim Kardashian getting paid loads of money to try and sell us food.
Right, let's take a look.
I believe so much in the mission of Beyond Meat that I've stepped in to help with my greatest asset, my taste. This plant-based meat is not only amazingly delicious, but it's also better for you and better for the planet. It's a simple change that makes a really big difference.
So good.
And now that I'm Beyond Meat's chief taste consultant, there's never been a better time to go beyond.
Right.
Well, it's interesting to see Kim Kardashian try and sell us on stuff that isn't real meat because most of her body isn't real meat either. Although I would probably eat it, which I wouldn't do with vegan food. Vegetables are so great. Why are they always trying to make them look like burgers and steak and stuff like that? Nobody ever gets like a bit of filet mignon and tries to make it look and taste like broccoli. Vegan food isn't real food. It's the food you put on your plate next to your real food and then you scrape into the bin after you've eaten your real food.
I'd rather have something by a chef, not just a guy in a lab coat being like, yeah, give it a risk, see what happens.
The fact that he then stands behind some lead panelling when you eat it.
Makes you sign a disclaimer before you eat it. Yeah.
Take your fancy?
Not at all. I like the fact that she looks like a sex doll. Just stood
I like
there.
that fact too.
But she looks like a sex doll because she looks completely unrealistic and she sort of stands there. The only person I've seen look less realistic is literally Liz Truss.
Yeah, I feel like for a person who does wear like a lot of fake stuff, she is like the best spokesman for fake meat. I'm not like a fan of fake meat, mostly because it's like more expensive than real meat. When it's going to be like cheaper, I'll get it, but I don't see how a cow is somehow cheaper than whatever they're making in the laboratory.
OK, Diane, what have you got for us this time?
We have a plastic surgeon on TikTok talking about what changes she would make to a Stranger Things actress's face.
Let's take a look.
So, if I was Natalia's injector, this is what I would do. We'd start by treating those masseters, and we all know how much I love treating masseters to help slim the face. Next, I would actually add a little bit of chin filler just to help fill out her chin and make her whole face more like a heart shaped. Next, I would add a little bit to the lips, just a little bit, nothing crazy, just a nice pout. And then we'd get in there and do a little bit of Botox. I'd give her a nice brow lift to help open up her eyes. And to top it off, we'd start working with some Sculptra. She does seem to have more thin skin, and we want to prevent that from getting thinner and create more collagen. All right, let's see what the final product would give us. Ta-da! All right, how do we like my Photoshop skills? As we can tell, her jaw is slimmer, her chin is more pointy, and her eyebrows are more lifted, and gotta love that pout.
Wow.
I find this incredibly insulting that she's trying to make such a beautiful woman, Natalia Dyer, look like everybody else.
Oh, I would treat the masseters. You know how I love treating those masseters. Yeah, we all love treating the masseters.
Yes, the masseters are a quadrangular muscle which connects from the zygomatic arch and it connects to the mandibular ramus, and it's a very powerful muscle. It's used in chewing, but let's forget that and just inject it full of Botox, which, let's remember, is actually a neurotoxin found in the intestinal tract of animals.
I feel like if that's her job, I don't know. That being said, I would like to see like a clip of her, like maybe just analyzing like Katie Price's face and just saying what surgeries she would take back.
Your thoughts on it?
Half of TikTok is women like this trying to drag down other beautiful women like crabs in a bucket. Which, as a misogynist, is just wonderful to see. But the other half of TikTok is big, fat women being all like, oh yeah, you can be like a revolting, disgusting goblin that lives under a bridge and still be beautiful. And it's like, just pick a happy medium, you know what I mean?
Well, as points from this round are going to go to Diane's team.
Yeah!
Moving on now to the next round, which is Clickbait. Yes, in this round we give each of our teams some news stories and task them to come up with headlines for them. In true tabloid style, these headlines need to be funny, punny, or downright sensational. Basically anything that's going to draw you in as clickbait. This is for you, Diane. The governing body of the real-life version of Quidditch is changing its name to Quad Ball. It wants to distance itself from Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, who invented the concept. They're angry over her views on transgender issues and don't wish to put off the trans and non-binary community from taking part. Ideas on that one?
I think that is so rude because she invented it. But then again, if you think about it, okay, Quidditch is a game played by wizards who can fly. This is a game played by strange people in a field running around with sticks between their legs. They are actually not the same. So I'll say oddballs go quad balls. So I would go with Quidditch rebrands due to authors' views on meaty broomsticks. Female quad players need a broom but not a womb.
Yeah, I feel like, so basically what's happening here is that a company was organizing a game that they didn't have the rights for. And now they're changing the name in hopes of distancing themselves from their legal responsibilities, but also blaming it on trans issues. So I think they are going to be a successful corporation.
Just like the little version, isn't it? The off-brand version, Quad Ball. When the kids asked for Quidditch and you brought them home Quad Ball.
Oh, yeah.
Any thoughts over here?
Yeah, just I think if they want to encourage trans participation in Quidditch, this isn't the way to do it. If they want to encourage trans participation, just get women to play it, and then the trans will be right down there to demolish them and their records. Yeah, and they said in the article, we cannot continue to call ourselves Quidditch and be associated with J.K. Rowling. It's like, you're going to be associated with J.K. Rowling because she invented Quidditch. That's like me and Jonathan being in an Oasis covers band and being like, yeah, we're nothing to do with Noel Gallagher.
Any headlines?
What about stupid nerds change name of rubbish sport?
Yeah, that pretty much covers it. Jonathan?
Billionaire author laughs at dorks and just doesn't care. Or Quidditch players still unable to get laid.
Okay, let's see what you can do with this one. ITV is reportedly set to launch a new version of Love Island for middle-aged people in their 40s and 50s with normal bodies. A source said this show will give those who settle down young a second chance at love, while they still feel in their prime.
Love Handle Island. And one more, there goes my erection.
I mean, this is a terrible idea. Like, you get them all on an island, they've all got to bone each other. Think of the STDs they'll have collected throughout their lives. This is going to generate a new pandemic. It's going to. Also, like, if they're all in their 40s and their 50s, you got to ask yourself, why are they still single? Why are they still single? And their only opportunity to find love is going to an island owned by ITV. Instead of Love Island, You'll Do Island.
Let's head over here. Any thoughts on this one?
I personally feel this is going to be great. This is the telly I actually want to watch because older people are fascinating because they've had time to get quirky, they've had time to become really passive-aggressive, and they're all going to be put together and they're going to be wobbly, they're going to be a little bit bruised, a little bit scarred. It's going to be fantastic. Check out the boobs on that. And that's just for the men.
I don't know. I feel like ITV just sort of realized that only people over 50 watch TV, so why not cater to them?
Yeah.
Right? If it's like if 50-year-olds watch 25-year-olds having sex, that's creepy. Just watch old people having sex. Still, like honestly, I try to keep my porn to like over 25. But when I hit 30, I stopped watching teen porn.
I've got one more headline. Still better than Epstein's Island.
Hey!
But only just.
I do think the show is less romantic, because even if they do get to spend the rest of their lives together, that's not that long.
Well done, everyone. All of those were great, but there can only be one winner for that round, and it's the blue team. It's time for a break now, and as Rishi Sunak mansplained his way through the debate with Liz Truss, I'm going to take the time to explain to Diane what that means. See you after this.
My name is Andrew Doyle. Join me every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. for Free Speech Nation. This is a show where we address current affairs and news stories of the week with the help of two wonderful comedian panelists. I brought in comics because I want to give it a lighter edge, and also they work for less. See you there.
Welcome back to Ministry of Offence, in a week where Boris Johnson defended his liaison with questionable Russian in Italy by saying it was a private social event that had not been prearranged, which is a good effort, but that didn't work with my ex-wife, so... we're still here with Leo Kearse, Radu Isaac, Diane Spencer and Jonathan Cogan, and it's time for our next round, Mass Debate. In this round, we discuss the biggest news stories of the week, which is the crisis in the NHS. Diane, I'm going to come to you first. What would you like to say about our National Health Service?
Well, first of all, we have a little video where our ex-PM lays it all out for us.
In the last 7 days, I have, of course, seen the pressure that the NHS is under. I've seen the personal courage, not just of the doctors and nurses, but of everyone, the cleaners, the cooks, the healthcare workers of every description, physios, radiographers, pharmacists, who've kept coming to work, kept putting themselves in harm's way, kept risking this deadly virus. It is thanks to that courage, that devotion, that duty, and that love that our NHS has been unbeatable.
And it's actually due to the fact that Boris went to see all of those departments when he had COVID that we've got a massive backlog now. The NHS is super important. It's healthcare for everyone. Okay, so you might have to spend 4 hours waiting in an ambulance, but that is much larger than many inner city flats. I think the word bravery is thrown around a lot today. Being brave is spending your Saturday night pulling a bottle out of somebody's rectum whilst that person lies to your face saying, I fell on it.
So I do agree with Boris. I think it's definitely thanks to the courage and the devotion and the duty of the NHS workers, because it's definitely not to do with how much they're getting paid. Except I would say maybe except ambulance drivers. That seems like there's no danger there. That's just like a fun job. You're separated from everybody else and you just get to race a car in the city. It's like being a race car driver, but you're the only one allowed to race. So I don't have any sympathy for that. I just have jealousy for that.
And if you crash, you're already in an ambulance.
Why make it private? How well did that work for the train companies? You pay £500,000 for a heart transplant, for a heart surgeon, and just get a three surgeon replacement service.
Well done, but now it's over to the blue team. Leo, what are your thoughts on the NHS?
Listen, I'm not, bashing the NHS. I think the NHS did great in the pandemic. You know what I mean? Absolutely wonderful. But I prefer private medical care because you don't have to be grateful. Man, the NHS, you've got to come out every Thursday night, clap your hands, thank you NHS, thank you for doing the jobs you willingly chose to do in return for money. They're getting paid. It's free. It's not free when you pay for it out your taxes. Man, they're getting pensions and stuff. The way everybody carries on, you think they're all volunteers crawling to the hospital over broken glass. Now they're getting loads of money, banging pots and pans together. Man, you know how many frying pan handles I went through this pandemic? Now I'm in hospital every 2 weeks, not with coronavirus, with burnt hands from trying to flip a pancake. Man, we don't do that for any other service. You know what I mean? We don't come out on a Thursday be like, thank you PlusNet for a remarkably stable broadband connection this week. You know what I mean? Thank you Pornhub for a steady stream of interracial gangbang porn. We don't do that. The only other people who get clapped for fulfilling their basic job obligations is Ryanair when the plane lands. And I think it's because in both cases we know that we're total scumbags and we've drastically underpaid for a service and we are just amazed to be alive. There is no way a £5.99 flight to Lanzarote should land anywhere near the tarmac. Man, that thing should just break up over the Atlantic. We'll go screaming into the sea. We don't even mind. It's £5.99. What a bargain. Can't even hug your family goodbye because you haven't paid £4 extra to sit next to each other. They do that, those Ryanair scumbags. You get to check-in and they're like, do you want to sit next to each other? And it's like, why can't we sit next to each other? We're getting on the same plane. And they're like, no, unless you give us £4 extra each, we're going to move you around on the little seating chart. Because we're... Man, you're not getting any extra service for that. You're literally just bribing them to not be horrible people. That's like if you went to the bar downstairs and you said, can I have a pint of lager, please? And the barman's like, certainly, that'll be £4 or £8 if you don't want me to dip my balls in it. You know what I mean?
Also, quite a simple solution. Maybe this is controversial, but why doesn't everyone just get their parents to pay for private medical care? It's a very simple solution. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, Dan and Radu, have you got any questions for them?
Yes, I mean, when you peruse the NHS and you actually see about the myriad of problems that people suffer from, can't you see that they are genuinely working really hard to keep everyone as healthy as possible?
Well, how come, when the NHS was set up with hospitals full of sick people, and there's still hospitals full of sick people? They're clearly not fixing anything. So, and also, I think free healthcare just encourages poor people to be ill. So that's the wrong kind of incentive.
Also, I didn't get the care I needed when I went to the emergency room recently for a rather traumatic cafetiere injury that I got. I was not treated kindly.
Did they have to fit a catheter?
A catheter.
That's a French tube that goes in your fuck.
Well, good points, but ultimately it's up to me to decide who made the most convincing arguments there. And I think the most compelling statements came from Leo's team, so the points go to the Blues.
Rubbish!
4 more years. Trump 2024.
Now we've sorted out the health and well-being of our country, let's move on to the next round, which is lie detector. Our teams are shown some newspaper stories from this week. They must decide which parts of each story are true and which are false. So it's fingers on buzzers. Can you spot the lie in this first story? Top secret German government documents containing a briefing on Carrie Johnson and the partners of other G7 leaders were found after Chancellor Olaf Scholz left them on a train. Boris's wife was described as an art graduate with a history of environmental activism. What's the lie in there?
I think that the German Chancellor left his moral compass on the train. Yeah, that's right, Germany. They've pulled out. They were supposed to give Ukraine loads of weapons, which is great. That's the one thing I do think I do approve of government involvement in. They should definitely give loads of weapons to Ukraine and anyone else who wants them. But yeah, they're not, because they want to keep getting gas from Russia, so they can have nice toasty little, whatever they live in Germany, probably houses. Disgusting.
It's not what's on the card. Anyone else?
I'm ever so sorry, but leaving important documents on trains is what we do, right? There's going to be no space on public transport for English diplomats to leave important official secret documents if all the spaces are taken up by the German diplomats leaving them. So I suggest the English diplomats get on the trains early and put down towels.
I honestly agree. I think that's the lie. It wasn't the German. It wasn't Olaf Scholz that left them. It was Boris Johnson. he forgot the briefing about his wife.
Do you think he needs a briefing about his wife?
Yes.
Probably.
He does, doesn't he? Anyone else?
If it was a secret document, you would have code names for people. So instead of it being Carrie Johnson, they would have called her the Boris Sausage Roll. Or some other code name. Is that the lie?
No, it's not, but it's what a good guess. But the problem is, if someone's code name is basically the person that Boris Johnson is sleeping with, you need a code name that narrows things down. That's the problem. No, anyone else know the lie?
Aren't you supposed to shred important documents? You're supposed to shred them. So I reckon it wasn't left in one piece. I reckon somebody found it in their hamster cage, but it wasn't properly shredded.
Funnily enough, I think it was Thames Valley Police. Their shredders broke, so they got gerbils to chew the documents.
No.
Seriously. This is in I think it was in the 90s. And because gerbils chew documents really fast, chew paper really fast. They don't care if it's a document. They just like chewing.
So cute. Yeah. That is so cute. You'd have more people signing up to be a police officer. It's I'm the special constable in charge of the gerbils and the bunny rabbits.
And when we say special.
Actually, what happened was, they were documents about Carrie Johnson. They didn't criticise her wallpaper choice, who knew? But they were left outside and a little fox got in and opened up the bag.
That is the correct answer. Oh. Yep, I can tell you the real story is that he didn't leave the documents on a train. They were found strewn across the street after a fox tore apart some bin bags that were left outside the Chancellor's apartment. The dreadful noises during sex, the foul-smelling poos in the garden were apparently just 2 of the Carrie facts contained in the file. Any thoughts on any worries about fox now? Because we do see them, they do come around my bins. I didn't realise they were looking for official secrets.
Do you think there's a chance that this is just revenge from the foxes for all the Tory fox hunting that's gone on? And they've just sort of we're going to get one of them, let's do some research.
Yes!
Could be.
Okay, well, fingers on buzzers. Here comes your next story. A former stripper is selling a pair of socks she claims Prince Harry gave her in Las Vegas on the infamous night he was pictured partying with no clothes on in 2012. She's auctioning them along with a dress and a swimsuit she wore at the time and hopes to raise $1 million.
Well, I know some people don't like Meghan Markle, but there's no reason to call her a stripper.
It's actually one of Harry's balls. Yeah, she won it in a bet with Meghan.
I think the lie is she wasn't a stripper, she was a prostitute. What type of stripper takes the client's clothes off? How does she have the socks of the person watching her strip? So yeah, prostitute.
It's not the right answer this time, but I'm sure it's the right answer in some ways. Anyone else?
Is it the Nazi uniform he was wearing when he used to be fun?
Fun! Anti-Semitism. Fun!
Oh, I think you'll find he wasn't actually an official member of the Nazi party. He was wearing it as a fancy dress costume. Like sort of allo, or,
In like homage to his ancestors.
Yeah.
Anyone else? I can tell you the real answer then. It's that...
Oh, wait a minute. No,
Oh, wait, I think I've got it. She's selling
the answer just
She's selling
the answer
underpants.
comes into
She's selling underpants.
the answer comes
but I
into
didn't
shot.
even look.
I looked.
I didn't look.
Yeah, but I
It's his
did
pants.
look. It's his underpants. She said.
The answer comes into view on the auto cue. You can't win the points.
Yeah, but I didn't look.
But I did look.
I can tell you that the answer is she's selling a pair of black undies she claims Prince Harry gave her in Las Vegas that infamous night. Rumour has it that he doesn't wear pants anymore. He goes commando, as that's the closest he can get to being in the army these days. So here's your last lie detector story. Fingers on the buzzers for this one. Storks have stopped migrating to Africa from Spain because they're getting too fat to fly long distances over the sea. Although younger storks still have the instinct to migrate south, many of them now make the trip without their parents.
I think it's not that the storks are getting too fat, it's just that they're embracing body positivity and alternative lifestyle.
Yeah. Although looking at that stork's masseters, I'd bring them in slightly, give it more of a heart-shaped beak. It's not storks, it's people, and they're not coming to Britain because they're scared they're going to get sent to Rwanda.
No, that's not this one. Anyone else? Because they're not going to move this until I start reading it. No, there is no trust.
I genuinely don't think I know this one.
Trust is gone.
The trust is gone.
No, well, I can tell you the correct answer is that they have stopped migrating because of the warmer winter and the amount of junk food that they can eat in landfill sites. Which are exactly the same reasons I'm not going on holiday this year.
I mean, a stork's going to become the new seagull because they are terrifying.
Well, and also they're prone to just following you around. It's called storking.
And is that why there's declining birth rates? Because there's less storks flying over?
Yeah. Well done, and I can tell you that this round was a draw. Well, we're going on a break now. I'd say grab a Kit Kat, but Nestle have been putting up their prices. I haven't paid that much for Four Fingers since Bangkok.
I'm Mark Dolan. Join me at 11 on GBNews for Headliners, in which I'll be joined by two of the UK's top comedians discussing tomorrow's papers. If it's an important story, we'll cover it, but we'll have some fun along the way. Headliners, the late night paper review that won't send you to sleep like the others will. 7 nights a week at 11 p.m. on GB News.
Welcome back to Ministry of Offence, in a week where we saw the sad passing of David Trimble, the man who played such a large part in bringing peace to Northern Ireland. Without him, we would be living in a time where the Good Friday Agreement just means working out whether to go to IKEA or DFS. We're still here with Leo Kearse, Jonathan Cogan, Diane Spencer and Radu Isaac, and it's time for our next round, Anti-Social Media. Yes, this is Anti-Social Media, in which we look at online reactions to the news and events. This week, our tweets are in honour of Rishi Sunak's campaign poster, which unforgivably misspelled the word campaign. Someone had one job. So we thought we should trawl through the internet and find our favourite celebrity typos. Here is your first one. It's unacceptable. There's a loophole allowing paedophile training manuals. That's why I want to protect children by blank. What do you think Cameron was saying there?
Protect children by my house. By the power of Grayskull.
That'd be a great typo, wouldn't it? Going for something else and it auto corrects to that. Anyone else got any ideas what you think it might be?
By having sex with more pigs.
How old was that pig, though? Unless pigs age in like different years, like humans do. I don't think that pig was 18 years old or had ID.
Is it something like Child Protection Service, but instead he's put Child Potential Service?
I can reveal this one. Let's see what the answer is. David Cameron with terrible grammar suggesting making children illegal. Not necessarily a bad idea. OK, here's your next one. Sad to hear that Bob Holness has died. A generation will remember him fondly from blank.
Why have you got my picture up there?
Do you ever want to know the difference between Ed Miliband and Jonathan? Jonathan is marginally more likely to be leader of this country.
Well, Bob Holness was known for blockbusters, so I could only assume he's misspelt that.
Well, let's see what it was.
No way!
Blackbusters!
I was gonna...
Oh, wow!
Ed remembers him fondly from Blackbusters.
Yeah, that's a more racist version of Ghostbusters that was made.
You're going to call, not the police.
OK, here's your next one. Congratulations, blank, on your hashtag Nobel Peace Prize, hashtag 2014, with lots of random hashtags.
Colonel Gaddafi?
I think it was like Obama got it, right? And then was it Osama? That's the classical.
That would be, yeah.
I know who got it. It was Malala. So I think she's put something like Mana.
I mean, you're right about who won it. Now we're just trying to work out the typo.
Oh.
Oh, llama?
No.
Oh, no.
La Mama.
Melanoma.
No, you're getting closer, though.
Melania.
No. Ma mama. Mo mana. La manama.
I would love to see how the subtitle people cope with this. Let's find out the correct answer. Naomi Campbell. Malaria instead of Malala. So here's your next one. China steals United States Navy research drone in international waters, rips it out of water and takes it to China in blank act.
This is clearly going to be like terrorist, but it's Trump, so it's going to be like, rips it out of the water and takes it in a tourism act.
It's not that one, but it's, yeah, that neck of the woods.
Could it be, on the same vein, could it be a terrific act?
Is it aggressive? But he's, again, his phone's just autocorrect, so it's like, rips it out of water and takes it to China in an agoraphobic act.
No. I'm loving this impression, by the way.
It's like he's in the room.
No, I'm going to have to give you this one. It's a difficult one, this one. The correct answer is it's Donald Trump accusing China of unprecedented behaviour. Which is ironic, because that's what happened to him himself.
Yeah, wait till 2024, Steve.
I will do, yeah. This is my plan. To keep living. OK, on to your next one. I'm ready to blank from day one.
Is it?
Wow.
That like Liz Truss's Tinder.
Is it sell the NHS?
I know what this one is. I'm ready to hit the ground from day one.
Let's take a look. Yeah. Liz Truss offering to hit the ground if she gets the job. Just teach it a lesson.
Didn't someone hit the ground in her debate?
Well, at the end of that round, the points go to the red team.
Yes!
Don't clap.
And now it's time for the quickfire round. I'll be asking rapid-fire questions based on all of the news of the week. Our teams have to buzz in and be the fastest to answer to gain the points. So it's fingers on buzzers. What has been discovered in a Chinese restaurant's courtyard?
Some British Museum artifacts.
A half-eaten bat?
Is it a wide range of foods not traditionally associated with China? They've got like steak and chips, egg and chips, they've got kebabs, pizza.
It's all mod cons these days, isn't it? No. It's 2 footprints of sauropod. It's a dinosaur dating back 10 million years.
Is it actually a sweet and sauropod?
What new training has been introduced to Gloucestershire police forces?
Is it that grooming gangs are actually bad?
Yeah, solving crimes.
Come on, don't be ridiculous.
Toilet training?
I'll tell you, it's swan handling lessons. Comes after years of viral videos of officers being unable to control swans. What has a survey suggested 47% of women have not done in the past 12 months?
Made me laugh?
It's nice to be there, witness you being cancelled.
It's nice to be there and witness you being a hypocrite.
I'm going to say had an orgasm.
He's up again.
If anybody missed that, he said had an orgasm, and a lady in the front row said from men.
Is it exercise?
It is. Engaged in vigorous exercise.
Amazing. I was just being sizist and sexist. Turns out I was right.
Yeah. Stop clock every so often. What has been named after David Attenborough?
Is it David Attenborough?
I guess kind of, yeah.
A sex move where you watch people banging and then commentate over it. There you see him really going for it.
Very Blue Planet.
It was a fossil that they found in the woods, but it's a really, really old thing, and they've called it Plesiosaurus something attenborii.
Might be a really, really old thing, but there's no need to speak about him like that. National treasure. 560 million year old fossil, the earliest known predator, named Aurora lumina attenborii.
There we go.
Yeah, you get the point.
Knowledge.
Why was A.D. Timmermans, an Antwerp resident, banned from Antwerp Zoo?
She was an Antwerp anteater eater outer.
Oh no, it's not what we've got on the card.
Did she make Antwerp of herself?
No, yeah, actually, yeah. But
Did she try to feed on the animals?
feed on the animal.
I feel like feed the animals, people break that rule and it's not that serious. But then feed on the animals, maybe you get the ban.
Maybe even worse.
Oh.
Or did she
Sex with the animals.
Yeah.
I think we might need to almost give you the points for that. I mean, she was having an affair with Cheetah, a chimpanzee.
Well, of course she'd have an affair with a cheetah. I mean, not going to stay faithful with a name like that.
But it caused too many issues for zookeepers. She described this cheetah as her love, and it says here, they never kissed, had sex, in case anyone asks.
Just handjobs.
Why has there been a surge in flavoured condom sales in a city in the Indian province of West Bengal?
Because penises taste horrible.
Never tried, but yeah.
I'm going to say food shortages.
Because it's better to taste cumin than to get cum in.
And they're brewing alcohol in them.
Yeah, it's to get high. Apparently, there's a viral trend with youngsters soaking the flavoured condoms in hot water, which releases these addictive aromatic compounds, and it gives you a 10 to 12 hour high.
Wow.
Jesus.
Got that planned for later on then. Following Brexit, what may be rejected in Europe?
British people.
My application to be a naked au pair.
That would have been turned down before, wouldn't it?
Yeah, in this country, is it?
Bag and hand parties.
God, I wish. No. It's blue badges for disabled drivers.
Oh.
So I guess you have to park in over and walk. I don't know. And according to new Spanish government laws, what might British tourists have to present at the Spanish border?
STD tests.
To make sure they've got one.
I'm afraid not. Anyone else?
A short interpretive dance.
You actually have to prove that you have enough money to last. So you, for a family, you have to prove you have like $6,000 if there's 4 of you and you're going for 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, proof that they can spend €100 or 85 quid per person per day for every day that they are in the country. And that is the end of the Quickfire round. So at the end of that round, I can tell you that the winners are the red team. And that means that, sadly, we've also reached the end of the show, and I can reveal that this week's overall winners are also the Reds.
Yeah!
To the winners, your prize is tickets to see the Lionesses at Wembley. And to the losers, you won't be going away empty-handed. You get tickets to see the Lionesses at Dudley Zoo. Thanks to our team captains, Leo Kirsten, Diane Spencer. And to our guests this week, Jonathan Cogan and Radu Isaac. I've been your host, Stephen Allen, and we'll be back at the same time next week. See you then.